Good morning, everyone. I am back in the entryway at the moment. I don't know if you can see. There, here I am. Before we start our next video touring the upstairs, I felt like we needed to clarify something. It was very obvious from the last video that a lot of people didn't understand the joke we were making about the room under the stairs. So I needed to clarify. We are not putting any actual children under the stairs here. We do not actually have a godson. The joke was, it was a reference to a series of children's books. You've probably heard of them, called Harry Potter. In those books, the boy, in the beginning of the stories, he's living under the stairs at his aunt and uncle's house. So when Scott and I saw this room under the stairs, that was the first thing we saw, and we were just joking about it to ourselves. Oh, it's like Harry's room. So that was what that joke was. We are not actually putting anyone under the stairs. Please don't worry, that's not something we would do. And because a lot of people said they wanted to see the mess, this is what's in here. It's so dark, dang. Okay. This is what's actually under the stairs. It's wine storage. It was wine storage from the previous owner, so we just kept using it because it actually does stay dark and cool in here pretty much all year round. So yeah, nobody is living in here except for some bottles of wine and the occasional spider named Aragog. Hello and welcome back. We're continuing our tour of the main house by showing you the first floor. So come on up. And if you're confused about me calling it the first floor, in America, the ground floor is the first floor. In France, the ground floor is the ground floor, and the next floor up is the first floor. So, one floor up, first floor. That is where we're going right now. And we've put a few paintings up in the stairway, but otherwise, things really haven't changed too much in here. We did pick up this little mirror, which needs a little touch up here in the bottom corner, but we'll paint that, touch it up, and then hang it on the wall here, which will be lovely. So, our room is going to be in this direction. I guess we'll start with the wonderful water closet. This water closet needs some work. Starting with the
show-stopping toilet lid.
Stunning toilet lid.
It takes you away to a tropical setting.
Right. I'm not sure who put this in or why, but you know it's
It's going.
It's gotta go. Also has to go carpet. Carpet in the water closet. Why? Who put this in here? I want to know. I actually don't want to know. Why did you think this was a good idea? Well, both this floor and the floor above, on the second floor, have carpet in the water closets. And we can't fathom why, but it's got to go. So, yeah, a few little changes to make this room a lot better.
That's one thing you encounter a lot in France is bathrooms and water closets with carpet flooring still.
Can anybody explain this to us? Please, if you know, in the comments, why? Why carpet in a water closet or a bathroom? Because it seems very unhygienic.
And sometimes you get lucky and it's shag carpet.
Oh gosh. Okay, anyway, that's the water closet. Oh, you will also notice, I forgot to point this out, there's no sink in here. That is another very common thing in water closets. You will have just a toilet on its own, nowhere to wash your hands.
That's a big thing in Europe.
We don't, it's very common here. Like every place we've looked at has been like that. There's a water closet with a toilet and nowhere to wash your hands.
So you doctor walk with your hands up.
Yeah, so it's a little questionable. So eventually we probably will end up putting a small sink in here, either like above the toilet or on one of the walls in the back or something. But until then, you then have to either go to this bathroom over here where there's a sink, which we'll show you in a minute. Around the corner there's a bathroom. Yeah, you can wash your hands there. Or in our bedroom, which this is going to be Scott and I's bedroom, in this little closet here, I'm not going to open it because all of our suitcases and stuff are stored in here. There's a little sink, just a little sink by itself, and then some hanging closet space.
And some subway tile.
And a mirror. Yes, but it's just a sink by itself, which is a little odd. Why is the sink in a separate room from the toilet? I don't really understand these things, but that's where you can wash your hands after using the water closet. But that's where we will. But yeah, this room I think is really beautiful. This is going to be our owner's bedroom. It was completely empty when we got it, and We've put all the furniture you're seeing is stuff we've put in. So we found this mirror, at least temporarily, it will be in here until we get something that fits the room a little bit better, matches the colors a little better. But we at least have a mirror to get dressed with now. We found a few little pieces of artwork at various bricants and vitriniers, so...
The Trumeau did come with the property.
The Trumeau did, which is really beautiful. But it's definitely starting to show its age, and so at some point we're going to need to get it restored, because I'm really worried about it. If you look closely, there's some cracking.
Yeah, some slight fractures and fissures.
Some staining up at the top. Like, it really, really needs to be restored in order to not just fall apart, which would be a tragedy. I would love to see this, stay here. So we need to get it restored. Unfortunately, this is another one of those things that just adds up in cost, and so we have to prioritize the structural needs first before the aesthetic needs. So our first projects are really going to be focusing on leaks in the roof, leaks in some pipes, leaks in some windows. Those are the most urgent things that we've noticed that really need to be taken care of immediately. And then once we can recuperate some funds, we'll move on to the more aesthetic things like the Trumeaus or replacing the wallpaper in here. I don't know how well it shows up on video, but
there's a couple of dirty spots.
Yeah, there's some discoloration. Shows over here in particular, like kind of the seaming between the different wallpaper panels is pretty discolored. We'll try to clean it up a little bit more because, like I said, we're going to have to live with it temporarily until we have the money to replace this stuff, but it will have to go eventually. But yeah, this is the state of the room currently. That's the biggest changes in here, I think, are going to be restoring the Trumeau, replacing the wallpaper, and possibly replacing some of the floorboards that are a little squeakier as you're walking around. But that's not as urgent, I think, as some of the other things. Like I said, our biggest concerns right now for the first year or so probably are focusing on the structural needs of the place and preserving its safety and stability. So the leaks, there are a couple of leaks in the roof that need to be addressed, a couple of leaking windows that need to be addressed, some leaking pipes, and also repointing almost all of the walls on the property, and there are a lot. You can't really see it from in here. We'll show you as we walk around outside, but there are a ton of walls, and a huge, huge portion of them need to be repointed with lime mortar, and that's going to be a very long job. It's going to take a very long time to do. So those are our most important priorities at the moment. You can hear the squeaking floorboards as I walk around. That's a long-term project.
So leaving the master, go past the water closet and the landing to the hall with a bedroom that has been converted into a bathroom, and then the final bedroom on this first floor down there. But first, the bathroom. The bathroom.
I actually really love this bathroom. It's been really beautifully updated. There are a few small things that we're going to have to do in here. Well, some small, some big. But it's really beautiful. I love that it actually has a towel warmer. This is actually attached to the radiators. So it's not on right now. It's not electric. You can't just turn it on. But when we do turn on the radiators for the winter, it will warm and dry your towels, which is lovely. Obviously, we have this gorgeous, enormously heavy clawfoot tub that was in here.
Apparently, the previous owners said that no one has ever used this tub.
Apparently, yeah. And I doubt we'll really use it that often either until we have kids, in which case it'll be wonderful to have a tub for kids. We do have this shower here, which this is the one I'm not so fond of, that eventually, this is another one of those aesthetic vanity projects that I would like to swap out down the line when we get to that point. It's kind of dark for the room, and it's a little bit small. You have some more space that you could expand out and have a little more room to work with. It's perfectly functional. Joke's on me. When we originally filmed this clip, I said that this shower is perfectly functional, and at the time, that was true. However, it has since started leaking, sadly. One day, about a week ago or so, Scott got out of the shower and noticed that there was water all over the floorboards. I'll show you where in a second. And we don't know where it's coming from. So This has just been bumped up the list of priorities to figure out why it's leaking. It seems to be coming from underneath the shower somehow. The pipes under there seem to be leaking. So let me show you where that happened and the other concern that I have that I'm hoping we can address at the same time. So it was right around here, kind of extending out, if I move this mat, extending out towards the bathtub that we noticed the wood was all soaking wet after he got out of the shower. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to take this up in order, or pull up the floorboards, or both, to see what's going on under there. Furthermore, I think we need to pull up the floorboards anyway, because, and unfortunately you can't really see this well on camera, but in person you can see it a lot better, and I'll see if I can get some footage in the future that shows it a little better. You can't see this well here, but in person it's very obviously sloping. The ground slopes this way. Same for out in the hallway. It slopes down. And even the room next to this, which is where Tom and Dora currently stay, and which is going to be the future nursery, it also slopes downward this way. So my concern is that this beautiful big bathtub is too large of a point load for the joists here. I don't know that the previous owners really took an assessment of that or considered it. I don't know. But I am hoping that if we do end up having to take up some boards here to check the piping, the plumbing, we can also see what's going on. Maybe, I mean, we'd have to move the bathtub out, which would be a really big job because it took, I think, 6 people to move it in, they said. But I really do want to see what's happening to the joists under here. It has me very, very concerned, especially when it comes to us having children in here someday and potentially using this bathtub. The last thing I want is for it to go crashing down through the floor because the joists are too weak for this kind of a load. So, yay! Okay, enough of the interruptions. Back to our originally scheduled tour. It's just not my favorite. So this is one of those aesthetic things down the line when we've gotten through all the priority projects. The other issue with this bathroom, which is a much smaller one, is that when we first got here, there's no storage at all anywhere other than this little drawer. This is the only storage in this bathroom built in. So as another stopgap measure, we've put a couple of baskets under the sink to store some extra toiletries and things. We may or may not try to find some small shelving or cabinets or something that could go under there to store things. But we are also going to, behind the door here, ta-da! As you can see, there's no medicine cabinet, so we're kind of storing some like Band-Aids and things just on this ledge, which is a problem. So we're gonna put a medicine cabinet in here. Probably also, we've been looking but haven't found yet, some sort of shelving or storage for this space where we can store either some extra towels or, like I said, other extra toiletries, you know, shampoos and soaps and sunscreen and all that stuff that you don't want just sitting out all the time, as well as probably some hooks on this wall here that you can hang some more towels or bathrobes or things of that nature. Yeah.
That's the bathroom.
That's the bathroom.
Now on to the last bedroom.
Yes.
Now we take you from the world of the bathroom to a bedroom.
So this is the only other bedroom on this first floor. Currently Tom and Dora are going to be staying in here. Down the line it's going to become a nursery, hopefully, if we have kids. And this is another one where it's mostly just kind of vanity stuff really in here. Again, the Trumeau really needs to be restored. We want to preserve that when we have the funds to do so. And also the wallpaper in here really needs to come down, just like in the other room. You can see this one really shows how bleached it's gotten. There was some artwork here and this was exposed to the sun. It's gotten very, very faded, very discolored. So eventually the wallpaper in here has to come down, and
the light fixtures will have to be altered. Because one little thing we discovered, well, Brittany discovered.
I was trying to do some cleaning and dusting the other day, and I noticed that this one is different than this and was also just kind of wobbling around, and there was a light bulb just kind of sitting, not screwed in, but sitting on top that just toppled out. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Well, the seating where the light bulb gets screwed in is just gone. I can't show you this one, but I'll show you over there. This would get screwed into a light bulb, and see, it's missing the housing. So it's just gone there. So we have bought a couple of replacement wall sconces. So these will go up to replace what's there currently. And it's nice because these actually coordinate better with the existing chandelier in the room. This one does have a few more crystals. They've been taken down, they're over there, and we need to put them back up after cleaning them. But the wall sconces and the chandelier coordinate really nicely, better than the existing wall sconces.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check, because it's another kind of funny little fact about this place when we moved in is a lot of light fixtures had one less light bulb.
Yeah, you can see it here, actually. Pretty much every light fixture, almost every light fixture in the place is missing at least one light bulb, if not more. We think that maybe the previous owners were trying to save on electricity. In addition to the fact that light bulbs are actually very expensive here, at least compared to the US. When I was at the store the other day, it was like one of these little light bulbs, not a smart bulb or anything, just a small little light bulb. It was like $6 for a single bulb. So maybe as they burnt out, they didn't replace them, or they didn't want to pay for them all up front. I don't know, but we're gonna have to buy a lot of light bulbs to fill out all the missing ones in here.
And we'll be changing a lot of the rugs.
Yes.
The owners were nice enough to leave some rugs for us, which helps with the warmth, but
yeah, definitely will help in this coming
winter. A little
winter.
threadbare, so we'll be finding some new rugs.
Yeah.
And then a fun little thing that the previous owners even forgot themselves was there is a little storage cubby here. Let me see if I can open this. Well, no.
Oh dear.
Yeah, or take out the tissue in there.
There we go. I think that was put in to just keep it closed.
So yeah, some little hidden cubby.
Surprise.
Now what's really interesting, let me see if I can catch it in here, is the stone here is an arch.
Yeah, it makes a little arch shape. So this was just some strange little, we don't know what it was.
Maybe perhaps for use for an altar.
Yeah, I thought maybe it might have used to have been, an icon was here or something, maybe. Or maybe it was an old safe. We don't really know. It was kind of a surprise when we were doing the final walkthrough. They showed us this, and
they'd even forgotten about it. They had a picture over it, and they've been here for about 12 years.
Yeah, they had forgotten about its existence. So fun little things you find in the chateau.
So that's this bedroom. Like we said, this will be my parents' room, and then eventually down the road a nursery. But we've got a little bit of work to do, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And that is it for the first, first floor.
The first floor. In French standards, the first floor. That is the full tour.
We've been a realtor for almost 17 years. You still have to shake some things. I thought I was doing a lot better than I am.
But yeah, we'll do, in our next video, we will take you up to the second floor, one floor up.
I said that was a floorboard, not a fart.
I hope the audio caught that. But yeah, we'll take you up to the next floor in the next video.